Most men misunderstand failure. They see it as the end of the road, like a red light that tells them to stop, turn around, and forget the whole idea. When things fall apart, the disappointment hits hard. Pride takes a punch to the chest, and suddenly that quiet voice in the back of the mind starts whispering that maybe this wasn't meant for you in the first place. But failure was never the real problem. The real problem is what a man decides after it happens. Because failure can mean two completely different things, depending on the mindset you carry when you walk away from it. For some men, failure becomes proof that they should quit. They treat it like a final answer, like life just closed the door and there's no point knocking again. But for other men, failure becomes information. It becomes a signal that something didn't work yet, not that the mission itself is impossible. They step back, look at the situation with clear eyes, and ask a different question. What did this teach me? That single mental shift changes everything. When your mindset changes, failure stops being an enemy and starts becoming a weapon you can use. Every mistake shows you where the weak points are. Every setback forces you to sharpen your thinking and strengthen your discipline. Look at the men you respect the most, the ones who built something real with their lives, the men who carry quiet confidence and walk through the world like they've been through a few storms. None of them had a clean path. They failed. They miscalculated. They made decisions that backfired. They had moments where things collapsed right in front of them. The difference is, they refused to let failure write the final chapter of their story. They treated every setback like a rough draft, something unfinished that could still be rewritten. That mental shift separates the men who build something from the men who walk away from their own potential. Because once you stop fearing failure, you stop shrinking yourself. You start taking real risks. You push harder, move faster, and keep stepping forward even when the outcome is uncertain. And that's where success begins to grow. Not in comfort, not in perfection, but in the decision to keep moving after the fall. Failure can absolutely lead to success, but only for the men who refuse to surrender when things get difficult. Only for the ones who look at the wreckage, learn from it, and step back into the fight with a clearer mind. At the end of the day, the road always splits in two directions. One path is easy. You quit, tell yourself the timing wasn't right, and slowly convince yourself that walking away was the logical decision. The other path demands more from you. It requires patience, humility, and the willingness to keep showing up when there are no guarantees. But that path is where growth lives. And the truth is, nobody else gets to decide which direction you take. When failure shows up, the moment of truth arrives with it. You can give up, or you can give it everything you've got. The choice has always been yours.